guys, we're back. 6 Scale Habits here. We're gonna show you how to make this Detolf diorama that's not too hard to make. The other one I have showed how to make kind of a grassy one that has like a little path in the middle. So we're gonna do kind of a different take on it. This will be more of a Tatooine kind of vibe to it. And you can use it for any type of figure. We're gonna start off by showing you the materials that you need to get. Let me show you where you get those things from, and we'll be right back. Okay, so right here is everything you're gonna need to actually make the base, not the things that go inside of the actual base like sand and rocks and the dead weeds. So I'll show you guys that. There's a few things you would have to buy through Amazon, and you can also buy it from Hobby Lobby or somewhere else. Sorry guys, I had to pause it right here. I forgot to mention that everything that I use in this video will be linked down in the description below. All right, now that we have the materials, the first thing you want to do is get your 1-inch thick insulation board and take off any stickers you see, and then we'll get to the next step. I pulled this Detolf shelf off. It kind of has a lot of fingerprints. So this is just as my base. To where I'm gonna draw out the line. So let me get a pencil and we will draw it out, and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, so now that you have this traced out Detolf shelf, you're not gonna want to cut exactly on the line. So what you're gonna want to do is cut maybe 1/2 inch. So we're gonna make 1/2 inch. Cut right there, and then we're gonna stop it maybe right here. It doesn't have to be perfect. Right here. Oh no, right here maybe. There we go. All right, and those are gonna be your 4 points. So you're gonna want to cut from right here to that dot to the other dot, and then back down, and then the edge right here should just be already cut. I'm sorry, I screwed up. You know, this is my second time doing this, but you actually do another dot right here, and then another dot at that same spot. So you're gonna have another line at the bottom right here. Right there. So you have a border, basically like a picture, you know. All right, so the first cuts you're gonna do is the outside line right here. And then once you have it all cut out and it's a square, you will then cut out the inside part. So I'm going handheld now so you can see it better. I am going to cut the inside lines now. So when I cut the inside lines, it's gonna leave a big old hole. So all I'm left with is just this little bit. So I'll show you what it looks like after that. All right, now that the middle is cut out and everything is good, you're gonna be left with something like this. And we're gonna go switch over to the 1/2 inch insulation board. Okay, now that I got the 1/2 inch insulation board, what I'm gonna do is place this on top, and we're gonna trace the inside of the square or frame. And we'll see what that looks like after. Okay, now that was traced, now I'm gonna cut this one out. All right, now I've cut this piece out, and what you're gonna wanna do is just try to fit it in here as good as you can. Okay, so this is what it should look like after. We have the 1-inch insulation board on the outer part, and then we have the 1/2 inch insulation board in the middle. So it leaves this little lip. You have about I don't know, maybe a centimeter or maybe a little over a centimeter lift, so it can keep that sand inside. So let me show you the next step. All right, and this is where you need the hot glue gun. You're gonna wanna seal each side of the diorama. I'll show you what it looks like after. Okay, I have sealed the inside with hot glue. So after this step, what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut off these edges to make it look a little more, you know, rocky, or a little bit more not perfect. So how I do this is I take the blade, and on these corners I'm cutting all different depths each time, so it'll look kind of like I cut a little bit right here. It'll look kind of like this, like a little rugged. Okay, got all the sides done. If you want to take some of this stuff off, you can. I just leave it on there. I'm gonna use this side because this is the side that was already cut and it looks good. So this is gonna be our front, and now we're gonna paint. Okay, so for the first color, we're gonna use espresso. And we are going to go around the edges and paint around the edges first. All right, so now that I got the edges in espresso, we're going to do the inside just black. I mean, you don't got to do any other color like that. Whenever this outer part dries, we'll do a little dry brushing, and that's basically it for the painting. All right, now that the inside is black, we're gonna wait for the rest of the paint to dry, and then we'll do a little dry brushing around the edges, and then we'll put the sand in. Okay, now that everything's dry, we're gonna take the lighter color brown, burnt sienna, I think that's how you say it. And so we're gonna dry brush, and dry brushing is a lot different than actually just painting. So what you wanna do when you're dry brushing is you can take any type of brush. I usually take these kinds and just put it in there, get it a little, and then what you do is you're gonna wanna dab it in a paper towel to where there's barely any left on here. Now that there's a light amount on here, you're gonna wanna just softly go over this. And if you just keep doing this over time, over the amount of times you do it, you'll eventually start seeing this color come through, and it'll look really nice, and it'll match with the sand kind of. Okay, now I'm finished with the light dry brushing. I know you can't really tell, but when you get up close, you can see all the little details come out where the dry brushing was coming through. All right, guys, now we got the sand, the kinetic sand that you use. It never dries out. And I'm gonna put it inside of the base. Okay, so here's what the inside of the kinetic sand looks like. And you gotta take it out this package. Then just try to spread it evenly out. Okay, now we're done with spreading it out. It should perfectly all fit inside. Okay, so first decoration you're going to want to get is these little, I believe they're dry like wheats, but I'm not sure. So you can find these at Amazon, you can find these at Hobby Lobby. I'll try to leave a link in the description for where you can find like these online if you want to get them delivered to your house. So how we're going to do it is we're going to use a tack first, just a regular tack. And how you want to insert them is you want to make a, let's say we'll make it right here, a little hole like that. Okay, and you take one of these out, and they'll have a really strong end. You just poke it in that hole you made, and you pinch the hole together so the weed thing is, or the wheat strain is stuck in there, and make sure it's tightly in there so it looks like it's coming out of the ground. So I'm going to do a couple more and we'll see what it looks like whenever I'm finished with that. Okay, so now back to handheld. So now this is what it should look like. You know, it looks good. Looks decent. We got a few leaves coming out now. I don't have any rocks, but let me show you what you would do if like you needed a rock in there or something to make it pop out more. So this is the first one I did. All I did was get these rocks. I'll try to find them again and link them in the description. I bought them actually from Amazon, and I seen them at Hobby Lobby too. So what I did is I just pushed them as hard as I can in there and just push the sand against the corners so it looks like it's embedded in the ground. And it came out looking like this. So let me show you what like a figure would look like on this base. Alright guys, here's the final product. Here's the base, what it looks like with the Mandalorian, and then I put Grogu down there too. Everything you need for this will be linked down in the description below. And also the backdrop will be another tutorial. If y'all want me to make that, I'll make it. And that's about it. Thank you guys for watching. 6 Scale Habits, come again.